Build shows on the road today. We're at the beautiful mountaintop home of my friend Matt Carricker, otherwise known as the Abandoned Mansion Project. I think Matt's up to like episode 16 now or something. Matthew!
Hey, you made it.
Man, looking good up here, Matt.
Thanks, man. I could use your expertise to make sure we're doing anything right.
Man, you made some progress since I was here last. Looks good. How about we go take a look, guys? You ready? Matthew, I got you some gifts.
What you got?
Man, I got some boxes in here of some nerdy stuff that I like.
Some nerdy stuff.
You know, not many builders in Texas install these as a standard, but I started doing this a couple years ago. These are two dehumidifiers, Matt. They're made by Ultra Air, a good USA-made company out of Wisconsin. And there's one for this house and one for your second project you're working on that will work independent of your air conditioner, so it'll bring the humidity down in your house.
Perfect.
Good stuff. We'll unload those in a sec, but give me a tour, man. I mean, it's looking amazing.
Let's see the outside first?
Yeah, let's see the outside.
All right.
A ton's happened.
Yeah. Where do you want to start?
So all the windows are in, or most of the windows?
Probably about 90% of the windows in this part. We're going to build a whole garage addition on, so obviously nothing over there is done, but 90% of the windows here are done.
And you know what? I brought you some supplies and some gifts. I thought I was going to show you how to do liquid flash at your base wall, and now that I'm seeing it, you've already completed it.
You did. You're the one who showed us how to do this. You're the one who gave us the whole walkthrough.
This looks awesome, Matt.
Thanks.
Good job.
We were hoping you would show up and say it looks awesome.
So this was
show up
Mitch
say
and the
it's
guys
terrible.
at Punch List, right?
Yep.
This looks fantastic. So what you did here was where your foundation met your framing, you liquid flash that bottom. This gives a good air seal, and you also have that insulation on the backside of your Zip R.
Right.
So you covered that up. It's really good, man.
we got
Nice and airtight.
Treated board here, cut to be flush, and then liquid flashed everything.
That's fantastic. Okay, so this is treated, and then it starts here.
Correct. And
then you taped all your seams. You basically did what I'm calling Zip 1.5, which is what I did on my house, where you could reach, you hit all the nail holes, and then you put all the tape and all the seams. That's gonna be a really airtight house. And this is my detail for not only waterproofing, but I consider that kind of my bug detail.
Yeah.
No one in Texas likes cockroaches.
No.
And this is an entry point for a lot of them in our houses in America.
Really?
So
I
good
guess
job.
that makes sense, I guess. I didn't know that, though.
You know, you got some air leakage through there. There's some cold air leaking out. The bugs love that.
Straight in there.
They go straight in there. And because your foundation's never perfect, as flat as it looks, there's always a little bit of this going on.
Yeah.
That flimsy little sill seal you put on the bottom is a good capillary break, but just doesn't do a great job in air sealing. This liquid flash right here, great detail, Matt. Good job.
Thanks.
Keep that up. And then your windows are in, I see, and you did a great job on your sill pans. You made this stretch tape for a sill pan. You've got the tape on the jambs in the head and not on the bottom. Great job, man.
There were a couple windows we actually did. We did them accidentally on the bottom. We're going to have to go and take that out.
Okay.
But yeah, most of them we did them correctly, not on the bottom to let that water out.
These are good window, but just in general, we always want to leave a weep spot. So if something were to happen in the future, some water gets in there, we want it to be able to get out, and it's going to be able to get out in this little gap right there, so that's perfect.
Cool.
Now we do need to air seal the backside of those, Matt. I'm going to show you today a couple options for air sealing the backside of your windows. This looks amazing, though. Let's go inside, have a look. Oh, Matt, she's looking good in here, man. I love it.
Thank you.
I see a couple of original studs here and there, but I see a lot of new wood.
The inside is still primarily original stuff. All this stuff is new because we had to redo this entire roof because it was
You had that crazy flat roof
it was
here
all
before, didn't
parapets
you?
and weird things and
leaking.
A lot of rot.
A lot of rot. Check this out, Matt. You used Zip R on your new roof area, didn't you?
We did. We had a bunch
That's great.
extra, so we just thought, let's do that.
Man, to have a break on your walls and your roof now, I love it. Which means you're going to insulate up at the roof deck probably, right?
Correct.
What are you going to do? Do you know?
We're going to spray foam everything.
All right.
So should get pretty good insulation up there.
Yeah, and good air tightness too.
Yep.
That's awesome. So spray foam in the walls.
Yep.
We should, if we can afford it, fill this all the way up. You'd have 5.5 inches here plus this 1/2 inch.
Yeah.
And then up on the roof line, it'd be nice if you could, 7.5 will meet code, but if you can go 9, 10 inches, you'll be that much further beyond code,
So
even better.
when spraying in a roof, you just spray it and let it come out?
Spray right up to the deck, and you're gonna love it when they do it. You spray it on, it looks like paint, it blows up.
Yep.
and gets a real thick
Because
insulation.
here you have to have it flush, but up there I guess it doesn't matter at all.
It doesn't matter
You
at
just
all.
let it bubble out.
Yeah, and the beauty of that in Texas is now all of your duct work is inside your air conditioned space.
Yeah.
And so your HVAC system, that new dehumidifier I brought from Ultra Air, all that will live in your air conditioned space. So it'll just work that much better.
Cool.
Let's take a look at these windows. What brand did you end up using, Matt?
We went with Sierra Pacific.
Okay.
We just liked the style. We liked the reputation they had. And we picked out some wood on the inside, some aluminum on the outside, and
I like these, man.
Pretty happy.
Casements too. Casements
Casement.
are great because they lock down and kind of push the window together.
Yep.
Which means they're a little more airtight. And wherever you can do fixed like this too is always a good choice because fixed windows are more airtight in general. Your stats look good, man. So a little nerdiness on your window ratings. When you look at this in the south, we're looking for a low solar heat gain coefficient. That's how much of the sun's heat actually makes it through the window. And this one's blocking 79% of the heat, only 21% is gonna make it through. That's a good low number. And then this is your U factor. That's basically the R value in inverse. So if this was an R value, this is close to an R4 window, which is really good. Code right now is close to an R3 window, so you're that much better.
And what were you telling me earlier that old windows, you know, like 40-year-old houses that have windows, what would their
They'd
solar
probably
heat
be
gain?
half as good. They'd
Really?
probably be 0.4, 0.5, let's say, in terms of solar heat gain coefficient. So
Yeah.
this house,
cool.
windows are probably twice as good as your house built in the, let's say, 80s or 90s, depending on how old it is.
How much would someone have to pay you to live in a house with single pane old school windows? You're like, I would never do it.
Well, I mean, you know, honestly, you have more issues with other things first. There's window
Sure.
companies that go around and say, oh, you got to replace your windows. You'll save 50% of your energy bills. That's a total lie. But when you're building a really efficient house like this, you've got tons of insulation here. You've got this thermal break on the outside. That's when windows really become a
They
bigger
are the
deal.
weak spot, yeah.
That's your weak spot. That's right. You're not losing any heat or gaining any heat, really hardly at all through this area here.
Yep.
But it's really happening through your windows. And so you're smart here. You've got a couple of big openings facing your view, but in general, you've got a lot of wall space, and that's good because that wall space is going to be really well insulated. And because you use that Huber zip system, you did the zip 1.5, super airtight. We want a really airtight box. I forgot to mention those dehumidifiers. We might pop one of those boxes open. I'll show you. You can bring fresh air in through those as well.
Sweet. Yeah.
Give me a little tour of your master. This is
All right.
totally different than I was
This
here
is
last time.
master bedroom. This is the hallway to
Uh-huh.
master bath. Toilet.
Did you change the floor plan at all?
A little bit. This is the same. We moved the wall in just a hair just to make it work a little bit better, but
Okay.
that toilet was there. There is a big double vanity here,
Ooh.
and originally this is where the sinks were.
Okay.
And they had a window over each sink, which we thought was weird because you can't brush your teeth and look at your face, you know, that kind of thing. You can't wash your face because you're looking out a window. Anyone who drives up in the driveway is going to watch you brushing your teeth.
No.
It was just weird, so we put one single window in between them so you can have mirrors over the vanities.
And you raised
there.
that up. That's really
And
smart.
we raised it up so that, you know, it was like a waist-high window
No.
right next to our front
Now
drive.
you can be naked and not worried about
Exactly.
a visitor seeing you as they
Exactly.
pull up.
So there was a big his and hers closet here, and it was this whole thing was the his and hers closet, and that was just a big weird shower room. So now that's going to be a bathtub. We are putting a shower in here, which is why we've dug out the concrete here so we can run a drain through there.
I like seeing this, Matt.
Look
This
how
makes
thick
me
it is.
really happy. So this is what we call a rebar slab rather than a post-tension slab. And man, you've got some serious rebar in there, Matt. Look at
Yeah.
that. That's almost 1 inch thick rebar right there. It's probably number 6 or number 7 rebar.
Yep.
Really, really thick. And you've got beams right here. This is a concrete beam.
Right.
And so when this thing is poured, all the rebar catches it and it acts like a big stiff boat. So if there were any movement on your soil below, this foundation is going to stay nice and stiff and strong. And the beauty of rebar compared to post-tension is you can make these changes. Your guys did a great job of not cutting this rebar,
Nope.
and it's all structurally intact. You re-pour this, there'll be no changes to the structure. Good job by your contractor.
We were just happy we finally found that drain.
That's great, yeah.
It's way down there.
Yeah, and then this is tying up here so that now your tub's going to connect.
Yep.
This looks great, man.
Coming together. We haven't put these windows in yet just because we don't have a roof on there yet. We
I
don't
like
want them
that
to get
you
wet.
kept these studs too. These are structurally fine.
Yep.
You got no issues here. These are totally fine.
Yeah, you can see the new ones, and they're all the old ones that were good, we left.
Yeah, this is good, Matt. I've seen you use your calibrated rot detector on your channel too.
Carry it everywhere.
Well
You never
done.
know.
This looks good.
Thank you.
And then new roof in these places, but you kept some of the old roof too, which I like.
Yeah, all of
No reason to change that.
All of that is, old rafters and old roof because it was all fine.
Yep.
So we did rip all the metal roofing off, but we left all the wood underneath.
Any idea what color metal you might do for your next metal roof on this house?
I think we're just gonna go to the natural, like silver metal. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, Galvalume. That's great.
Yep.
So this is a radiant barrier decking,
Yep.
which when there's an air gap behind it meant that it helped kind of like act like foil in a microwave to repel the radiation.
Yep.
So it would be less hot up there, but still really hot.
Yeah.
But because you're spray foaming that, you won't have that radiant barrier. So by putting a silver metal roof on, that will act as your radiant barrier now.
Yeah.
That's good. I love metal roofs, man. They last forever.
Me too.
And if you put like a 24 gauge down, it'll take hail, no problem. You can go through a really bad storm and still be good to go.
Maybe I'll din it up.
Check that out, man. That masonry fireplace looks nice. I'm glad you kept that.
Yeah. Yeah, we think those are awesome.
So this is master bedroom then? Bed here,
Yep.
fireplace at the end.
Yep.
God, that looks great. Look at that stonework too.
The guy who built this house originally, from what I've heard, was a mason.
He did a great
And he
job.
really decorated a lot of cool stuff here.
God, so rare to see that. Look, he used real brick where it couldn't be seen, and then he used this real pretty brick to face it, and fire brick on the bottom, and he's got a... one thing we may want to do though is get you in the off season, these tend to be leaky, and you'll have a lot of air going through there.
Yep.
They sell a chimney balloon that's
Oh,
basically like a big
really?
bladder, kind of like, remember when we were kids, your mom would put a hot water bladder underneath your back if you were in pain.
So it just
They
blows
sell a
up
big
in there and
bladder,
blocks it.
you pump it up, and it blocks all the airflow through there.
smart.
So all summer long, you don't use it. You'll have a little string that will poke down, so you'll know, hey, when you start a fire, you got to unpump it. Just press the valve,
pull it
it'll
all out.
pull right out, and then in the wintertime, you're good to go.
A bunch of birds will fall out too.
Exactly, exactly. And big doors going in here too, I'm assuming? Or
Yeah,
is this
we're
windows?
gonna have a big 3 panels, 2 of them slide doors right here.
Okay.
Yep, out onto a little porch.
And that's the original barrel vault too, right?
It is. We left it.
Cool.
We like that.
I like that. That looks great. And you block through the window here.
So actually, this is all original framing. They had framed it for a window, and then I think they realized there was no place for a bed, and so they framed it back in.
Gotcha.
So that was all here 20 years ago.
Originally,
Yep.
yeah.
So we just left it.
But you know what? When you've got that Zip R sheathing on there, you've got the R3 already, so that makes it less of a deal that you don't have any insulation where that header is.
Over that header.
So I wouldn't worry about taking that header out. But if you didn't have that, that'd be a place that you'd have a lot of heat gain or a lot of heat loss because there's no insulation. You only have insulation in the bays.
Right.
And your studs have a little bit of insulated value, right? They're not metal, but they're about R1 per inch. So this stud's like R5, and then your spray foam in this cavity is going to be like R20.
Yeah.
Something like that. But you've got that continuous R3, so that's great, man. Well done, Matt. I like it. Let's go see the rest of the house.
Let's do it.
Matt, I got you another little gift right here.
I do like gifts.
Another nerdy detail that I like. You know, you spend so much time and effort on your air sealing with the Zip R. It's really important to make sure your windows are air sealed. Remember how I had you leave that bottom open? That's a spot that air can leak in, and that's good because we want to let water out. So a great detail to do is to use this Proseco R-Guard system air dam.
Ground beef or what?
It looks like sausage. That would be expensive right now. What this is a 20-ounce sausage tube, so you got to use a slightly different gun. The commercial guys use this all the time. The residential guys, a little less so. So this will slide right in here, and then you basically use it like a regular caulking gun once it gets in. It has a tip that will cut off. But what we want you to do is come in on these windows, and in this gap right here,
Fill it.
we're going to use a little bit of expandable spray foam in there first, if there's room. Like down here, there's no room to put your straw tip, so don't worry about it. But in here, we could put a little bit of that first, just to insulate it, and then we're gonna put that in this gap right here, in between the windows. And I'll do one for you and show you. And I brought some backer rod for you too. If you've got a bigger gap, you need to shove this backer rod in, which is like a little pencil tip or pencil round. We're going to shove that in, and then we're going to caulk that. And what happens then is any air that blows in underneath this window, this will be the backstop for it, so it won't get in the house. Just helps air seal and complete that air seal at your windows.
So many cracks in a house that I didn't even think about.
There's miles. Like this one right here is nice and wide.
Oh yeah.
So actually,
foam in there.
we're going to use some expanding spray foam in there first, and then we'll back caulk that.
Yeah.
And that caulking, we want it to touch here and here. We don't want it to hit something solid in the back, so we wouldn't want to fill that whole gap with that.
Right.
We just want to spray foam it and then just fill just a quarter, half inch of that, and make it flush with this.
Cool.
And then you'll be nice and air sealed. Looks great, man. I love this new framing too. I love that you're going to pitched roofs everywhere, and you've lost all your flat roofs out of the house.
We do too.
So it looks like a lot of this framing is original in this kitchen.
All original. Yep.
This looks great.
All
No reason to take it out.
All this original. We're going to take out the arches. It's not really our style, but otherwise everything's staying the same.
Okay. Looks good. Oh, now you ripped some of your spray foam off the underfloor area, didn't you?
Yeah, I think kind of actually looks like we're doing it all.
So you could get all of your wiring redone, get all of your HVAC systems
water
in here.
Yep.
So you ripped out the existing HVAC that was in here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was a hard one to make that decision.
It's a tough call, man.
Air conditioners are expensive.
But it was in here 20
but it's
plus
been here
years.
for 20 years. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like a squirrel went through that. Squirrel the size of a human.
There was a duct going through there. Well, they augered out the heck out of that
the way they
LVL,
cut it
didn't
was
they?
interesting.
Looks like they cut it with a sawzall, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, you took the chimney out of here, didn't you?
Yeah, it had that big crack in it, and so we were like, we're gonna have to fix it. We're gonna put something back in here.
Okay.
But it was gonna be a lot of work to get it to be functional. So we decided to scrap it, start over.
And I see you've got your rafter tails sticking out. Those look like cedar, actually.
Yep.
Are you going to add those in some other parts of the house?
We are. We're gonna try to make it match all the way around.
Okay.
Yeah.
You did a great job of keeping what was good and losing what was bad, Matt. That's a tough call.
That was twofold. One for money, so we don't have to spend as much money redoing everything. But another just to kind of preserve a little bit of the history. Like I think this house has a really cool story, and
It does.
I don't want to just tear it all down and build whatever I want here. I kind of wanted to. I mean, the layout's all the same. We kept the whole foundation, so it's all very similar, but it's our own take on it, basically.
For sure. What's going on your floors here, Matt? What are you going to do on these floors?
I think we are doing a tile that looks like wood all the way through there.
Okay.
I think. Actually, no. I'm trying to remember. That was a thought. My wife said we're doing all wood floors.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be all wood floors.
Cool. What was here? What's this going on?
I think there were cracks, maybe.
Huh.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Interesting.
It's like that all through the house. And this was all underneath saltillo tile. There was a bunch of saltillo tile that we didn't like, and so we
ripped it out.
We busted it all up. So all that was underneath all the saltillo tile.
That's what they're doing. They were trying to isolate the cracks from coming through the saltillo.
Yep.
I got to say, Matt, though, as tall as your slab is, and this is what, a 20-some-year-old slab?
20,
There's really
yeah.
not any cracks. Normally, you're going to see some spiderweb cracks, and those are normal. I'm hardly seeing any.
We're sitting on top of just rock here.
bedrock.
It's just all rock, and so I think that really helped.
Look how they augered in for your electrical.
Yep.
You have to be careful when you lay your hardwood floors. If you do it some kind of a plywood and then
put a
nail
nail
down
through
there,
that.
you don't want to put a nail through that.
Yeah, that would
Because
suck.
when you go to do the final electric, you don't know where the short's coming from.
Mm-hmm.
And you probably want to think about, I'm sure your contractor already has,
Redoing
but
these.
any plumbing that's in your slab, I wouldn't trust it.
Yeah.
I would bust it out.
Yeah, because it would suck to have to do that after your tile's all in.
Even if you pressure test it, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Don't cheap out on that. You're not, and not that you are anywhere. I'm not calling you out on that, man. Let's go upstairs, shall we? This looks great up here. Looks like Mitch is starting on the plan that we talked about. He's starting to do the floor sand.
Yeah.
So where your plywood has buckled and kind of swelled at the seams, he's got that big sander out and he's sanding those down. I guess we don't know if he's going to face this or try and keep it, right?
Pretty sure we're just going to try to sand it and keep it like this.
Okay.
I think you can see over here, we've replaced anything that was too far gone.
Yeah.
So we got the new
rest of it.
subfloor over there.
Maybe fine.
I think so. It's
Yeah.
just the top layer, so I think a little sand should be good.
I have some friends at this company called Fasten Master.
Okay.
And they make this thing called a PAM-FAST system, which is a stand-up screw gun.
Yep.
That I did on my house, where basically you just chalk the line where your joists are, and you do this movement, and it auto feeds a screw, and just we could
Automatic
re-screw your
screw
entire
gun.
floor.
That would be super cool.
I may come back with that, Matt.
Because I guess that would help with probably creaking and stuff like that.
Yeah, an old floor like this is especially prone to it. Plywood, even more prone to it.
Sure.
This Advantech is more prone to being stiff and not moving on you, especially if they glued it. And the beauty of this Advantech is it won't swell on you like this plywood has.
You're right.
So even if I got rained on a couple times, you'd be all right. Roof system looks great up here, Matt.
Yeah, hopefully no more rain in the house.
So this is typically where I'd say your dehumidifier is going to live, is up in that attic space. You don't need a condensate drain line. And there's a couple of ways to install it. You could either install it standalone, which is what I did at my house where I retrofitted. There'll be a ceiling grill that's a return air and then a place where it is outputting air.
Sure.
The only hard part though is it's outputting hot dehumidified air.
Yeah.
So in my case, I put it in an upstairs hall or a downstairs hallway. I only have a one-story house. I put it in a hallway outside of my kids' beds. It's a little hotter there, but that's fine.
Yeah.
So
how warm is it? Is it just warm or is it hot air coming out of there?
it's hot air coming out. It feels like the heat's on. You know, it's probably 100 some degrees. So it adds a little bit of heat load to that area. So we'll have to think about that. What are you using this space for here?
This is a upstairs living room, so kids, TV room, toy room, that kind of thing.
Great.
Yeah.
And did you add some space over here?
We did. That's a complete new addition over there. So we have 3 bedrooms up here, 1 for each kid. And then up here is going to be a little study area. They're going to have their desk and their schoolwork stuff will all be right here.
Love it.
Just to keep the mess off the kitchen table.
Smart. I like that. This is a great little space. And look at the view for the kids, too.
They have a nice view.
Man, they have a killer view up here.
There aren't many windows that don't have a good view in this house, though.
Yeah, I'd say so. I like that you put a brand new cover on your existing
We're
plywood.
trying to get everything waterproofed.
Yeah, that's good. And then where you've got your zip system roof sheathing, you've taped that, and you've also put a little liquid flash on those nail holes. That's smart.
You can walk out there if you want to.
We need a little yeah, let's do it. And then we put a little valley flashing on here too. This metal roof's gonna be awesome up here, Matt.
It'll be so cool, and it's going to extend out a little ways that way. It's going to be nice.
Yeah, because you still have your tails going on to extend out.
Well, and this is going to go out over a porch too.
Oh, you got a porch going on.
It's
still.
going to go out way far, yeah.
Gotcha. And what's your schedule on the next project? Because you have a kind of a garage detached project, right?
Yeah, so we're building something under the garage right now. Big secret. And then we're going to put the garage, we're going to start doing the foundation, everything there, and building the detached. Well, it's actually an attached garage. It will be attached.
Oh, it will be attached,
yeah.
okay.
Yep.
Gotcha. Cool.
Yep, so that's all happening probably, man, I'm hoping in a couple weeks we're pouring concrete for that foundation.
Love it.
Yeah.
Man, I'm impressed, man.
Thank you.
For not being a builder, you guys are doing a great job.
Thanks.
It helps to have a really smart general contractor involved as well.
That's right.
Mitch and his guys are doing a real nice job.
Doing a great job. It's
I'm
nice
impressed.
to have your expertise and helping out with getting us the good products. The best stuff to go on the side of the house.
Yeah, you got some good stuff going on here.
We're excited.
Let's go show you how to do those windows, and then I'll do 1 or 2 for you, and we can let you or the crew take over.
Perfect.
Meet you downstairs. All right, Matt, we unboxed this dehum. I was going to give you a quick tour. I think all houses in the South should have one of these.
Yeah.
Because this is going to have a separate controller separate from your HVAC system that's going to say, hey, when the humidity inches up, go ahead and turn this unit on. It's pretty straightforward. It's like the ones you'd have in your house that plug in, but this one's ducted. This side is the return side. This is going to bring air from the house. And then this one is cool because it's a ventilating one as well. You can bring fresh air in here. You're building a really tight house here. We've got the Huber zip system. We're going to spray foam it. We need a little bit of puff of fresh air in the house.
Sure.
So this will be a duct to the outside, and then there'll be a timer system for that. It's got a real nice filter on here too, and check this out. I know this is super nerdy, but it's a MERV 13, which is really good filtration. We want that for all of your duct work. It's gonna filter out all the pollen and all that other nasty stuff from the outside.
A lot of pollen
Keep
here.
your house air nice and clear.
Cedar.
Cedar fever, okay. And then this side is gonna get into your duct system. So that 10-inch round either could blow into your duct system or could have its own supply. And even nerdier, let's see how much, it's only using 7 amps when it runs.
Wow.
So it's not using a lot of electricity.
Yeah.
Whereas your HVAC system's using, 25 amps or 30 amps, let's say, when it's running.
Yep.
So it's just using a little bit of electricity. It's gonna keep your house really comfortable. And I found at my house, I keep my thermostat higher because I've got a dehumidifier like this in my attic.
Cool.
All right, next up, last piece of nerdiness, and then I will leave you alone to get back to work.
There's never a last piece of nerdiness with you.
There's a lot of nerdiness, but it's good stuff, man. I enjoy the science of a better built house, and you're doing a real nice job over here, Matt. So this Proseco air dam is basically a specialized caulking that's made just for this application. You're going to drop your sausage tube in there. I'm going to level it out with the top. And instead of slicing that, all we really need to do is just poke a couple holes.
Gotcha.
Just poke a hole or two there. And then, okay, so that's ready to go. Now, anytime you've got some gaps that are bigger, we want to go ahead and use some backer rod. All this is going to do is provide a little bit of insulation, but mainly what it's going to do is provide a spot to stop the caulking from going full depth. We want that caulking to adhere on 2 sides and not 3 sides. And that way, even if the house moves or changes a little bit, your wood swells or changes, it's not going to crack. And really we want to focus especially on the bottom, because this is going to act as a water stop for us on the bottom. So if any water were to drip out of this window in the future, it's going to stop it from coming into the house. And as the crack gets narrow here, we can stop using this. And where you've got some shims here, we'll try and cut those shims off flush. Let's do that with my knife here real quick. Okay, good thing I have a sharp knife. Mostly. All right, now all this is it's really just the same as a standard caulking gun. The nice thing about sausage tubes, though, is there's very little waste when you're done. There's just gonna be just a little bit of a foil wrapper to throw away. And we're just gonna put a little bead on there. And I'm just going to do this one corner for you because we haven't put any spray foam in there. But this is the effect you're going to be doing here, Matt.
Yeah, too easy.
It's really simple. And now we're air sealed. And I'm going to use this real fancy spatula from Albion. You can also use your finger if you want to. You could also use a shim. And we're just going to make sure it's adhered on all sides. And that's it, man. We're going to do that all the way around on all 4 sides of all your windows.
Yeah.
Nice and airtight. And like I said, any water that gets down in there, it's going to hit that as a backstop, and it's going to want to go outside rather than in.
Right. I like that.
Pretty simple, Matt.
Very easy.
I'm impressed, man. The house is looking real good.
Thank you. It's a big project. I think the last time you were here, I was just kind of getting over the nervousness stage where it's like, did we bite off more than we can chew? And now we're well past that. Like I know we're going to finish this thing now, so I'm happy. Everything's good.
And have you officially said whether this is going to be your house or not?
Yeah, we officially decided. We went back and forth for a long time. We initially bought it wanting to just flip it and sell it. And then we were like, man, it would be kind of cool to live in it though. And now we're just in love with it. So we're staying.
I mean, this view is incredible, Matt.
Yeah.
How could you not enjoy this as your personal house?
We're never going to find a view like that. So.
And it's going to be so much better built and so much more comfortable. Your energy bills are going to be lower than your last house.
That's what we're thinking. We'll build it exactly how we want it. Be good to go.
Good stuff. Matt, I really appreciate you having me out here, man.
Yeah.
We'll come back again next time there's something fun to say.
Sounds great. Thanks for coming.
Guys, if you don't currently follow Matt, he actually has 3 YouTube channels, of which myself and my entire family watch all of Matt's videos. They're really fun. I'll put a link in the description for his channel. But the big one that he's filming here is called Off the Ranch. He's got how many videos now on this house?
I think we are up to episode 19 now.
Almost 20 episodes just from what he's done so far. This is a really fun project, Matt.
Thanks.
And I like that I'm back here and I'm impressed. That is a good feeling. I don't always get that feeling.
I'm glad
always
you're
get to say,
impressed too.
hey, you're doing a great job.
I'm glad you didn't come and go, this is terrible. You need to start over.
Tear it down.
Get out while you can.
No, you're doing a really good job.
Thank you.
Thanks to Mitch, to Matt's contractor at Punch List & Co., right? Did I say that correctly?
Punch List Co., yep.
Man, he's doing a great job over here. And all the workmen, really good stuff. Follow Matt on his channel. If you're not currently a subscriber, hit that subscribe button below. New content every Tuesday and every Friday. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Otherwise, we'll see you next time on The Build Show.